Hey, it's Angela. Welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to today is Sunday, September 7th, 2025. And I try to do every Sunday my week ahead spread. I do the energy obstacle and advice for the week ahead. And usually I use the outgoing deck that I used the week before to do the spread with. But all last week I was on vacation. I didn't use tarot at all. So I'm using the deck I'm going to be using this next coming week. It is the Artist Decoded Tarot. And I've already pulled cards. I also pulled from the Modern Life Oracle cards that I got. I think this was like $9 on Amazon. But I pulled a card from that as well. Here's the backs of that. For the theme, overall theme of the deck. Or the week. So, yeah, if you're just tuning in, I usually do the energy obstacle and advice for the week. I pull cards, I do a meditation, and I pull cards ahead of time, and then I reveal them on camera with you. So when I have a reaction, you get to hear it firsthand. My foot's itching. And I had a weird psychic experience today, mediumship experience. And my boss, I had to go to my boss's house. Somebody gave her a hot tub for free, and she couldn't hook it up into her house, so she gave it to me. And she lives like 30 minutes away in this podunk town. And so I drove out there and picked it up. And she's always told me, if you ever come to my house, and she's actually just bought a house with her boyfriend. This house is over 100 years old, so I would assume there's spirits there. Or somebody, and I wasn't thinking nothing about it when I went to her house at all. And this is how I say things just hit me. I noticed that she had by her stairs, because she has these old beautiful staircase, and at the foot of it on the side was this little toy baby bed, and it was a fake dog, but it looked real, like a real puppy laying there. And I was like, oh, that's cute. And something kept drawing me back to that dog. Well, then as I left, I was like, oh, was that a spirit? Was there somebody making me extra attention to that dog? And then I all of a sudden heard Cecily doesn't like the dog there. And I'm like, what? And I texted her later and was like, do you know anybody named Cecily, Cecilia? She said, yeah, my neighbor's little daughter is Cecily. And I'm like, oh, so whoever was talking to me, telling me the dog, she didn't like the dog there, was a person, and I'm guessing her like grandmother or somebody that has the same name, I'm assuming. I'm going to find out more tomorrow, but that just was like a quick thing that happened to me today. And I'm like, oh, like, I don't know anybody. She just moved into the area. The neighbors actually just moved in. She talked about her new neighbors one time, how they had 3 daughters. That's all I knew. Didn't know a name, nothing. And she was like freaked out. She's like, don't tell me no more. And I'm like, okay. It's nothing in her house, but I think it was the grandmother of the little girl next door, which was cute. But it was just in and out. Like, it was like I asked the question, is there any spirits that want to relay a message? Before I was even done, that came in, and then it was over. And I'm like, okay, weird. So it just proves to me that the more I do mediumship or tarot or anything related to spirituality, the more that gift gets honed. So it just means I need to do it more often. But anyway, that's besides the point. Usually these last like a couple minutes, which is why I feel like I just rambled on for a while. So it makes it at least worth a 10-minute video, right? Anyway, so the theme of the week ahead, I pulled, and it's emoji over users. Interesting. And this is of course, a modern deck. but I used it. I'm trying to find a deck that will go with the Artist Decoded. And I just haven't felt like I've had any luck. I feel like this deck, as soon as I pick this deck up, I'm like, no, and then I'm like, oh, maybe it will be. I don't know if it's AI or what this deck is, but it's been pretty powerful, the stuff I pulled from it. And you can download, it does have a QR code card that you can actually download the meanings, which I have done, but I'm not going to pull it up because I read intuitively most of the time. And emoji overuser just means there's probably going to be either you as a person are going to be too much into technology and maybe need a break, or someone around you needs to take a break from technology. That's how I see it, yeah. Anyway, that's the theme of the week. So for the oh my god, energy of the week, I pulled the Eight of Pentacles, overworked and underpaid. That's how I always look at this card. Overworked and underpaid. I'm perfecting that craft, perfecting my skill to the point my thumbs are bleeding. You know what I mean? Like, and I say all of this because when I see this card, when I do these spreads, I'm literally just vomiting it out, whatever I feel, hear, see, think. So that to me is some kind of connection I'm making to where I'm not really taking into the account the actual, here's the real RWS meaning. I mean, you're perfecting your craft, yes, but to what extent? And I feel like that, and it's funny because you see him here in like a artist studio, right? And he's on this canvas, but he's painted a cityscape, kind of like a building that's falling down or whatever, which makes me think of overabundance of the overuse of technology, because it looks like a business building or whatever, like a skyscraper. And look, there might be some here. And then you see what appears to be an actual cityscape behind the picture, or maybe that's part of it. But it looks like these buildings here are crumbling. It feels like it's, like I said, overworking and underpaid, but at the same time it feels like not giving up, like taking time out from that busy day, from the overuse of technology, to take a walk. Or like I have a friend at work that she does one thing all day long. At lunchtime, she will leave the building and go for a walk around the whole complex. And sometimes she comes back a little late because she's lost track of time, because she's in this moment of self-protection, self-love, self-care. And I feel like that's very much needed in Eight of Pentacles, where you're, especially with a Virgo, I'm a Virgo, Eight of Pentacles is my card. My Deacon card. I'm actually on the cusp, so I could go 8 or 9 of Pentacles, either way, and I just talked about this in another video, which is interesting because this is the first card I pulled for the first week. I'm doing this since my birthday. The Eight of Pentacles, yes, it's all about perfecting that craft, and sometimes you can get a little overworked. As a Virgo, we're always all about perfectionism, okay? Always. And the Eight of Pentacles can be a card that, yes, you're perfecting that skill, but to the point your thumbs are bleeding. You need to take a break. You need to take a walk away from this situation for a moment. And that's what I feel deeply in this card is, it's, yes, you may be perfecting your craft, but at the same time, you're losing yourself in that craft. Wow. That gave me a little chills there. So, and I just realized, I'm sitting here droning on about the Eight of Pentacles, that this is my Deacon card. Well, one of them. I could go either way because I'm literally on the cusp. Just depends on if you start end Deacon 1, Virgo Deacon 1 on the 2nd, or you ended on the 3rd. That's all what it depends on, because this is for Deacon 1. And then Deacon 2 is the 9. So, but I always resonate more with the 8 of Pentacles versus the 9 of having abundance of stuff, because I've never had an abundance of anything. So, I always resonate more with the 8 of Pentacles. But on to card 2, because I feel like I'm just rambling here. If any of this resonates with anybody, let me know in the comments, please. Please. I just got a pain in my shoulder. For the obstacle of the week, we have the Page of Pentacles. What's up with the Pentacles? The money. And I do feel like here lately my money's just flying out the window, because it ain't me spending money. It's my kids. One lost a job. One's constantly changing jobs. It's a lot. And the one lives elsewhere, and I'm kind of having to cover some of his bills sometimes because of his constantly changing jobs. But the Page of Pentacles is the obstacle, which I find interesting. And oh my God, that makes total sense. Page is my son. And I don't do these spreads for me specifically. This can be for the collective, for anybody. But I do feel like this resonates a lot, especially since the 8 of Pentacles is my Deacon card. The Page, I was literally just telling you my money's going out the window, because my son, every time he calls me, I told my husband just an hour ago, every time he calls me, I cringe, because I don't know what he's going to ask me for. Is he going to ask me for more money? Is he going to ask me for, to take him somewhere because he doesn't have a license either? Like, it's a lot. And on top of all the stuff I've got going on, I have to deal with this as well. Not that I'm complaining because he is my child, but at the same time, he's 26. 26. Like, grow up a little. Just a little. Just a smidge. But that is what that feels like here, is this a young person taking my coin from me. I can't let that defeat me. I can't let that be my negativity for the week. And he's already called me twice today to take him somewhere that I refuse to do, because it's literally across the street from where he lives. And he lives at the other end of town. So I'm not driving all the way there for you to have been there and back by the time I got there. Interesting. But I love this deck just because the artwork is beautiful. I think this is a very underrated deck. I really do. Anyway, let's look at the advice of the week. The 5 of Swords. Oh my God. I like that it's green too. Green's my favorite color. Like the dark greens is my favorite color. The 5 of Swords is fighting a battle that, and it may not be, maybe you fought the battle, and in your mind you're like, I fought this battle and won it, and everybody else is like, yeah, but you cheated. So that's, to me, what the 5 of Swords is. It's a hollow victory, right? You may have won the war. You may have won the battle, but you haven't won the war, or you've caused a war now because of your the battle that you won. Or did you cheat to win? And I think it circles back to the 8 of Pentacles here, where we're perfecting our craft. We're doing anything we can. We're stepping on toes. We're doing anything we can because we're laser focused on perfecting this craft. And we're willing to do whatever it takes to perfect that craft and make something of ourselves, or make money, or instead of perfecting the craft and being happy about it, we moved into a darker situation where it's become an obsession. And I feel like that's where the 5 of Swords steps in, is like, you're willing to fight, you're willing to wage war, wage battle, to do anything to win this battle, and it's only against yourself, because you're the only one that can perfect this craft, right? Nobody else can perfect it for you. You have to be able to perfect that craft and to know that particular skill. So when you're fighting somebody over it, it becomes something different. It becomes an obsession. So I see this as the advice is don't let it overtake you so much that you're becoming obsessed, that you're willing to do anything to make it a reality. Because some things are not worth the cost of your humanity, your livelihood, your morality. Some things are just not worth losing that part of yourself for. Anyway, that's deep, guys. I don't know what to tell you. If anybody resonates with this, let me know in the comments, because wow, this was crazy. Anyway, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to comment below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification button so you're alerted to any future videos. And y'all have a great week. Bye.